garden friends. I'm here in front of the greenhouse today, and it's actually kind of warm out today, maybe 40s, mid 40s. So I thought today would be a good day to get the greenhouse ready for the seedlings that I'm going to need to bring out in the next week or so, because I'm going to be doing my next round of seed sowing indoors under the grow lights, and I'm out of room. So today I thought I'd just take you through how I'm going to open up the greenhouse, getting the heater all set up, some trays in here to get ready to receive some of the seed trays that I've got inside, and then I'll take you inside and show you what I've got growing under the grow lights and in the refrigerator and all the other various places that I've stuffed trays of seed for cold stratification. Yeah, lots of seeds going this time of year, and many, many more to come. So let's take a look inside the greenhouse and see what we've got. Susie wants to go in the greenhouse. So I'm having trouble opening this door because frost has pushed the ground upwards a little bit, so oh well. So here we are inside the greenhouse. Ooh, it's nice and toasty warm today. Wow. Yeah, so I left this greenhouse in pretty good shape last fall. You can see I've got some catnip still hanging in the greenhouse. I have to take that down and crush it up for the cats. But yeah, I swept everything out last year, put all the trays away, cleaned it up. I did leave the shade cloth up, so I'll take that down, and I will probably straighten out this table a little bit, put that more toward the middle, and then go get the heater and all the equipment. My heating setup for this greenhouse is pretty simple. I have an old fan that I just plug in and use as my ventilation to move the air. And then I have this BioGreen Palma heater, just a little electric heater, and it comes with this little thermostat. And so I set this thermostat. I usually set it, this time of year I'll probably set it at like 55, and that way when it hits 55 it will kick on at night mainly, and typically the temperature will probably really drop a little bit lower than that, but it won't go below 50, I hope. Anyway, so this little thermostat has a sensor on this wire, this little sensor here at the end, and so I hang that somewhere over the trays of plants that I've got in here, so that it's taking the real temperature above the plants, not high up where it's warmer or down below where it's colder. And hopefully, so far, it's worked really well. But hopefully it'll get us through until nights are no longer Arctic. One thing I'm really glad we did last year was run power to the greenhouse. When we ran power to the pond garden, we had him run a little branch off to, we had our electrician run a little branch off to the greenhouse, and it makes it so much more convenient. Before I was running an extension cord under the frame of the greenhouse and all the way to the carport with a power strip to plug in the two things that I need plugged in. But now I've got a power source right here, which is great. I can just plug everything in and go. All right. Now I'm pretty much all set to go. The heater's plugged in, the thermostat's plugged in, and the fan is plugged in. And I've got the thermostat wire hung up on this hook here, hanging probably, I don't know, a foot above the deck of the shelf. And so that's where the plant zone will be. I've got the first big tray in here. I've got many more trays up in the barn, but I really only need one for this first step. Ready to receive the 2 onion plug trays and a half of a plug tray of scallions and a few other things that I'm going to be bringing out here quickly, pretty soon. Perennials mainly. Okay, the greenhouse is ready to go. So let's take a walk inside and I will show you the seedlings that I've got under the grow lights. Right now I've got onions and shallots growing, as well as a whole pile of perennials. And I've got some seed trays in the refrigerator, as well as the carport, and I'll show you on those on the way in, that are cold stratifying for a few more weeks yet. And some that are cold stratified in dirt in trays, and I think 1 or 2 that are in a damp paper towel in a plastic bag. It all depended on what the instructions suggested as the best way to cold stratify them. So I'll show you those options as we make our way indoors. As I walk back into the carport, I can hear the water running in the new gutter system. So water is running right now through this gutter system into the bog garden, which, hang on, let me trek through the foot of snow here. Oh, you can't even see the opening, but yeah, there's water running through this into the bog garden, under here, under this layer of snow, and into the pond. So I imagine the pond is probably filling up pretty good. Can't wait to see this when it's actually warm and we can see what comes out of the end of this during a rainstorm. All right, so let's walk into the carport before we go inside. As I fall, yeah, ice. Let me turn around and show you what I just slipped on. This is the berm of ice that forms every year along the back here because of the carport roof and the addition roof dumping all its snow. Anywho, so let me show you a couple of the trays that I've got here behind the wood pile. I've got a couple of trays here that are covered. And the reason they're covered is because these are verbena, various verbenas, Verbena bonariensis and Verbena Bampton, and one other. which I'm not going to reach in there and try to figure out what it is, but I will put it on the screen. Anyway, they need darkness to germinate. They need to be stratified and in the dark. So those are behind the wood pile with cardboard over them to keep them dark, and hopefully that'll work. And then I've got a tray here, and let's walk around. And some trays up here of various things. Echinaceas, rudbeckias, sweet coneflowers, liatris, a whole bunch of things. And these will stay out here until it's warm. Here we are in the addition of our house, and here are my 2 grow light racks. I have one blank space on the bottom that is currently occupied by a cat. That's Cheeto. Say hi, Cheeto. Anyway, so on these grow racks, I've got a whole pile of things. This tray is all basil. And as you can see, I sowed multiple seeds in each cell. I weed them out to the strongest seedling of the bunch, but just to guarantee that I get a full tray of material to work with, I always overseed. So I've got a couple of varieties of just green basil. I've got Genovese and Nufar, which is a big leaf basil. And I've got red basil, Thai, lemon, and cinnamon. So this is for the herb garden, the center part that I always plant up in the in different varieties of basil. Down below, I've got more herbs here. I've got different thymes: summer, German winter, and orange thyme, and then common sage, chamomile, and then I decided to try a couple of varieties of coleus this year. A variety called Pinto, which is multiple colors. And Cheeto has something to say. Yes, you do. Cheeto is all orange mouth. And then this variety, I'll have to look it up, chocolate something, really pretty variegated variety. Rosemary has been sitting here inside all winter, and I haven't managed to kill her yet. So she'll be going back outside as soon as it's warm enough. All right, let's come back around here. Here are all my onions, red and yellow storage onions. I started those beginning of February, and they're already, 6-8 inches tall. So they're coming along great. These will be the first to go out into the greenhouse, hopefully this week. We'll see. Down below that, I've got, this is a tray that I bottom water some things. I've got some microgreens in the back, a couple of plantings of microgreens that I'm still growing for our own consumption. Cat grass for the kitties, and then a few other trays that I just started. Some Verbena bonariensis. I've got multiple trays. I had one out in the carport. I'll have this one, and I'll probably start another one just to ensure that I get a good supply of this. I love Verbena bonariensis. I love sticking it in amongst plants because it floats above the most of the other plants, and it's a great butterfly plant. I've got some Carthusian pink, Anise hyssop, some hollyhocks of unknown origin from my aunt. In the back here, I've got 2 varieties of goji berries. Red, the larger one, and black. As you can see, I've got quite a few of each. I started these in an open seed tray like this, and I'll be picking these out probably this week and starting to pot them up into bigger pots because they're quickly getting overcrowded here. These will go out in the new fruit row that I created last fall, where I combined rows 3 and 4 of the vegetable garden into one row for various fruits. Some of these are going in there. Here's a new planting of microgreens under a dome. You start them under a dome first and misting them every day. And then once they fully sprout, you put them over into an immersion tray where you can bottom water them. A couple of other, let's see, what's here? Drumstick allium and some white alliums from the garden that I inherited. I'm just trying to grow some additional plants from seed. And then down below here, I've got a whole pile of different perennials. And again, this is just the beginning of what I'm going to be growing this year. A lot of these are going into the kitchen view and barn slope gardens to help fill in the new gardens, but also to fill in other spaces. This first one here is purple lavender. I'll put the names down below on the screen, the actual variety names. And then a white lavender in the back. These seed trays I split in half, and I tried to do 2 varieties in each, similar varieties with similar growth habits, just to try to cram as many varieties as I could under these grow lights. Let's see, I've got some Agastaki here. This is Korean Zest. And then the last one, I don't even know what this one is. What is this one? Licorice White. So that'll be a white Agastaki, which is really pretty. A couple of yarrows in this one. Colorado mix I know in the back. This one's a red something. I'll put that name down below. And then 2 catmints. This one is a Persian catmint. And this one is, yeah, something blue. I'll put that name down below. And then I've got 2 more trays, Eryngium Blue Glitter and Paradiso Tall Mix. These are echinaceas, I believe. I'll put the name down below. I have these in the garden already, and I've got some in the perennial holding row in the vegetable garden. I want more. Always a good filler to have. And then some forget-me-nots and Jacob's Ladder for the shade garden. And then finally a half tray of shallots. Started about a week and a half or so later than the onions above. But these will also be going out into the greenhouse this week. Opening up my egg fridge. That's where we keep our chicken eggs. I've got a bunch of stuff growing in here that needs cold stratification. And here I planted it in soil, put vermiculite over them, and then covered them in saran wrap so they don't dry out. And yeah, we're letting them cook here for a little while. I've got some heucheras and some New England asters, some obedient plant, some baptisia, I believe. I'll put that name down below, and then something called shooting star. Again, I'll put that down below, maybe with a little picture. It's really cute. I thought it would look nice in the shade garden. So we're gonna let those cook, not cook, freeze, chill for a little while. Each one is a little bit different, so I've got the number of days it needs to be cold stratified on the little stick so that I can kind of keep track of how long they've been in. These pile of bags with soil in it is actually peat moss and vermiculite with various tree seeds in it. Oh boy, I wish I could remember what it is. Hickory nuts. I know there's maple, sugar maple, and then black walnut. These are for our town tricentennial. A gentleman on the tricentennial committee collected seeds from large trees in town, and the plan is to get a bunch of seedlings going and offer them up during our celebration. I thought that was pretty cool, so I volunteered to help, and we'll see how that goes. All right, pass the eggs down below. I've got a couple of things in this drawer here, some white columbine that I'm soaking in a cold stratifying in this wet paper towel, and then a few other interesting things that needed to be cold stratified. Some butterfly weed, and then I thought this was really interesting. I've never grown these before. Wanted something for pots on the patio, so I thought I'd try these. Meanwhile, my cat Cheeto is up on the railing in the loft above, trying to, I don't know, I don't know what exactly she's trying to do. Catch her tail through the railing. Yeah, we're looking at you, cat. Well, I'm back outside. It's actually a really nice afternoon right now. Low 40s, not too breezy. A little taste of spring, maybe. Although this week's forecast, a couple of the nights are going to be down near 0 or single digits Fahrenheit, which means winter isn't quite over yet. I will not be bringing out the onion trays just yet. I want to get through this next couple of days of low night temperatures before I commit to heating the greenhouse. Just not really an efficient use of the heater at those temperatures. Plus, if something were to happen to the heater in the middle of the night, yeah, the onions would be toast. They can handle a bit of frost, but not 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't want to run that risk just yet, but soon, I hope. Yeah. So I think that's it for today's video. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate that you're here, and please stay tuned for more seed starting and greenhouse filling, and hopefully we'll start to see some bare ground in the next week or two where I can start to pick away at some pre-spring chores in the garden. I'm really anxious to get going. Anyway, take care. Bye.